So let's start our topic, which is using SAS arrays. So it is the one of the concluding topic of this chapter, processing data iteratively. So we got introduced about arrays previous topic. We saw how arrays is been used along with do loops to make our tasks simple, right? Now we'll see how one can use arrays for various data related activities. Okay, so see, this is what it's telling. One can see use arrays as augmentation with SAS functions. We can use arrays to create new variables, and we can use arrays to perform a table lookup as well. So if you have observed this slide carefully, it's the same statement where we are creating total. So this total one we are using with the sum function with quarter 1 to quarter 4 as the sum of all these quarter columns. Now we know on this existing columns, we have created an array named as val, correct? So instead of writing quarter 1 to quarter 4 in along with your sum function to calculate its total, instead of using this columns, we can use this variable, or sorry, this val as an array name, sum of val with all the subscripts. So this is also one way where you are actually augmenting. Augmenting means you are enhancing the statements with a SAS function to be used on an array. So the array is passed as if it were a variable list. So as if we are writing this array as this elements, correct? So it's giving us the result. The result is similar as what we have with total 1 and total 2, same output. So nothing into different. So that's what it's augmenting. Augmenting means it's along with your sum function, it is an enhanced way of writing your array. Hence it's telling we are augmenting, we are enhancing. All right. So we can also use a dim function. Now what is a dim function? So if we understood this code carefully, we are creating an array called as contrib on all the quarters. So when you are using in a do loop, in case you are not aware what is or how many elements you are using, so you are not aware what should be the stop value for this do loop, you use one to dim function with contrib. So what this dim function does, it takes care of number of elements which are there from this array contrib statement of array. It takes care of number of elements with the dim function as a stop value. So this is also one way where in case if you do not know what the stop value with array are, or how many array elements or how many array subscripts it has, if you are providing this type of information, you can use dim function. So that's what it's telling. The dim function returns the number of elements in an array. This value is often used at the stop value in your do loop. So its function is used as this syntax. So dim along with your array name. Okay, so another way of using array is in case if you are writing array with this name with its 4 subscript and these are the elements. Okay, so in case these elements which you are providing are not the part of an existing column from your data set, array will create those columns in PDB. So an array statement can be used to create new variables in the PDB. When these variables are created, when this element names which you are providing are not coming from an input data set, it will create those columns into PDB. Either you give these elements or you do not mention any elements, you simply write array name and its subscript. This will also create 4 variables in the PDB. So this is one way where one can create columns for your new data set as per your instructions. Okay. So this is an alternate statement for creating new variables. So now this is numeric variable. So by default, it will take this columns as numeric with a default length of 8 bytes. In case if you want to create a new variable of character type, you are simply going to provide this name with its subscript providing its type and length. So it will create 6 new columns for your PDV. Ideally, it will be written to your output data set with this attributes with its type and its length. So this is also one way one can create character variables with arrays. Now, how to use this?
So we have to
Let's see.
give that length, right, Ashwin?
For character variable, we have to give length because it's character,
Okay.
because we do not know in character how
Yes.
many length values we may have. Numeric, it's all fine because numeric by default 8 bytes, and we know in 8 bytes
8.
it can save nearly 16 digits. Okay, but if we give 8 bytes for character here, and if suppose the name of a
It is more than
particular,
8.
it's more than 8 characters, then it will truncate. Hence, you provide the length. So it defines it is a dollar. We know it's a character variable, and this will define its length into PDF. All
Yeah,
right.
we can hear some sound actually, like dhap dhap dhap. I don't know what is that.
That's what. Just a second. All right. So if we see this slide now we'll understand how one can create new variables with using arrays. Okay. So look at this business scenario. If you see the screenshots, they're telling you that we have this data for employees donations who are contributing for donations in various quarters. Okay, out of this information which we have their contributions in the quarters, we'll get the number of percent or the percentage values that how much it's they are contributing. Okay, so this is what it's telling, that we have Orion.employee donations as input data. We have to calculate the percentage that each quarterly contribution represent of the employee's total annual contribution. Create 4 new variables to hold the percentage. So it's annual contribution. Okay, that means for every 4 quarters, the contribution will be 25%, 25%, 25%, depending on this value, which is 15, 15 in the quarters. So at the end, now this person is not contributing in first 3 quarters. Hence, the percentage in the last quarter is 100%. That is what is 25. Getting it? So that's what it's telling. We have to calculate percentage that each quarterly contribution represents of the employee's total annual contribution. So we have to create 4 new variables, which is percentages. So percentage 1 to percentage 4. So depending on this business scenario, now look at this statements. So
Ashwini, I have one
yes,
question. Can you go back?
Yes.
Can you go back to slide? Yeah, here I understand first line. No.
This one?
Next one. Yeah. No.
That percent one, that's
just
slide.
you ask percentage. Yeah. Yeah. In first line, I got this here because in fourth quarter, he contribute 25%, so it's showing 100% here, right?
So
Right.
that means
but
what?
in second,
yeah.
But in second line, it's 15, 15, 15, right? So that's I could
So
not
what
understand.
is this? It means that it's telling annual contribution, right? So in a year we have 4
Yes.
quarters, correct? Now this person did not contributed in any one first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Directly in fourth quarter he is contributing
Correct.
25. Okay, some dollar amount 25.
Right.
But from his hand, it is the 100% contribution. Whereas the next quarters for the next employee is contributing 15, 15, 15. So annually, if it is 15, so for annual, it is going to be 100 normally, correct? So to divide this 100, it is like 25, 25, 25, 25.
Okay.
All right?
Got it.
Yes. So that is how it is. So it's just the percentage of contribution compared annually, because annually it's going to be as a 100% contribution. Let him contribute for only one quarter. So that means only for 1 quarter throughout the year. That means it's 100% from his end. But even if it's contributing some amount, so total it is going to be 100%. So how it is coming? So this is how it's doing. See, we are going to create two new or two statements of array. One is contrib, which is on your existing quarters, and second is percentage with subscript 4. Because if we are not giving any information further, this it's going to create this 4 variables. So first thing, if you want to calculate the percentage, we have to divide it with total. Hence, we are going to calculate total. So total is sum of all your quarters, which is sum of all your contrib, which is your array. 2, 1 to 4, percentage I is equal to your contrib I divided by total. Right? So contrib I is nothing but your array for your quarters. Correct? So total is going to be sum of all your quarters. So the second array statement creates for 4 numeric variables, percentage 1 to percentage 4. Hence you get this output. All right. Now is it this clear now why it's getting 100% for first one and why rest 25? Now see this contribution from this person in first quarter, depending on the amount what he or she is contributing, accordingly that percentage are calculated and its total is coming 100% because this person is not contributing in this quarter now. Right? Understood now, Pragati?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this was one example where you have created this percentages. Now look at the second example with this scenario. It's telling using Orion.employee donations as input, you have to calculate the difference in each employee's contribution from one quarter to the next one. So look at it. What we have to do, we have to find out the difference. So of course we'll get three difference and we are going to use as quarter 2 minus quarter 1, quarter 3 minus quarter 2 and quarter 4 minus quarter 3. So you get the difference. So the difference in each employee's contribution from one quarter to the next. So this is what you get the. So how are we going to calculate this difference now? So before calculating, you have a poll here. So it's telling how many array statements would you use to calculate the difference in each employee's contribution from one quarter to the next quarter. Yes. So if you have a first statement from quarter 1 minus quarter 2 minus quarter 1, quarter 3 minus quarter 2, and quarter 4 minus quarter 3, how many statements will be writing here now?
One.
One statement. Okay. What would be?
Because array is for that only, na? Using
Absolutely.
one we can create.
Correct. So we'll create that array. So answer can vary, but solution is you can use two arrays. So one array is for your quarters, correct? So that's what it's telling. One array to refer the existing variables, that is for your quarter, whereas the second array to create the three different variables. So this is how you will write it. So your array contrib for all your
For
quarters, existing columns, whereas array diff 3. So
this is only one, na? Array diff is the only one, right?
Yes, but the question was how many array statements? So
okay. Yes, contrib is there, yeah.
Yes.
First array for
Ideally,
existing.
for your difference, you are correct. But we are also going to create an array for existing elements or existing columns, correct? Hence, two statements of array. One is on existing columns and second is on diff. Hence, two array statements. So this is how you are going to calculate the difference. Do I 1 to 3, because we have only three differences. If I is equal to, now we cannot write quarter or contrib 2 minus contrib 1, correct? So you cannot have that column value here like this. Hence, what we are going to do is we are going to write it as contrib I plus 1 minus contrib I. That means if the value is do I equal to 1, so it will be I plus 1, which will be contrib 2 minus contrib 1, which is equivalent to quarter 2 minus quarter 1. So when it will be
it's like
I equal to 2,
1.
absolutely. When it will be I equal to 2, it will be 2 plus 1, which will be 3. And here it will be contrib 2. So it will look like quarter 3 minus quarter 2. And when I value is 3, it will be 3 plus 1, which will be 4 minus contrib 3, which is equivalent to quarter 4 minus quarter 3. Correct? That is how it's writing I plus 1 over here. So the contrib array refers to existing variables. The diff array creates 3 variables, diff1, diff2 and diff3. So this is how it's explained. When I is equal to 1, it will be contrib 2 minus contrib 1, which is equivalent to quarter 2 minus quarter 1, and so on. So when I value is 2, it will be like this. When I value is 3, it will be this way. And hence you get the 3 new variables of differences. All right.
Yeah.
Any questions here?
No.
So I have question. So in one syntax, how many arrays we can use? Like here difference we use, but percent also we can use.
Yes, yes. Now you can write
In that case,
separately
we have
different
to
another
give.
array statement.
Yeah, but in that case, we have to give to do things, because difference percentage will also require the do syntax.
Correct, correct, correct. Yes. So this is that. Suppose we'll try this also. So it's a demo 15 for this lesson. So let's move with your demonstration. It's P2D demonstration 15. So the same thing, right? Let's now introduce array. We are creating set subscript. For that, we have to do total, which is sum of contrib.
For, or we can give colon also, right?
No, this is not a column. This is your array. Either you write 4 or you give asterisk.
Okay.
It's an array. Right.
So first it will run the first I, that is difference array, and then it will come to
Percent.
Absolutely.
Oh, so we have to do different separate do loop statements.
yeah. That's one.
Right. Because it's not integrated, correct?
Mm.
That's why we are writing it separately.
Divided by 2.
I now here we have 2 loops, okay? So it will get confused which I. So here I'll give it as either G. All right. Otherwise it will overwrite.
Mm.
When we drop I will also drop
J.
J. So difference 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, percentage 1 to 4, total is also there. So you get this percentage. Now if you add a format statement on this percent column, you'll apply format on it to see it into percentage. So in case if you write here, let the data set be as it is, percent 1 to percent 4. So we are not applying any format statement in data step. Percent for as
Percent.
percent.
Okay.
So in the report, let's see the values are coming to percent. Now,
I think that
typing
percent
this,
spelling is something.
when I was typing
The last one,
percent
percent.
1%, yeah,
4, before.
Getting some error, right?
Maybe we have
that
dash
format
between.
percent.
So dash, we are given dash, na, for percent 1 dash percent 4. So dash is can
Taking as a mark.
Meaning format percent specified with width out of range. Again, this percent is not including the values, even the weight is increased, correct?
Yeah, we can increase that number, no? Percent.
So that's what we are actually increasing the weight.
7 or
Because we do have some decimals which are more than 3.7 or more than 3.45. That's why the yes, now
yeah.
it's coming.
No.
Got it?
yeah. The difference is 0, 0, 0. Okay.
Correct. Minus करून 0 जाते हैं.
Correct. From your higher value, you are subtracting the lower
Low.
value. So in case if we do not write like this, and if we then it would give you the values into minus sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So to avoid that, we have given this. All right. So you can, depending on your data value, increase the weight for your percent. So you can try this. You can go ahead and open this demo.
15. Okay.
Demo 15.
Ashwini, can you show me your proc print result?
Yes.
Okay, because in %3 and %4, I'm getting different numbers. Let me check.
So check what you have written for this total.
Format.
For total.
Okay.
Check your total statement.
Total is
And
equal to
then
sum of contrib. In comma, I put asterisk.
comma, why you need comma?
Sorry, not comma. Just let me. Okay, I will share my screen. It's
Okay,
better.
1 sec, I'll stop sharing mine. Yeah, sure.
Here.
Yeah, it's all fine.
Uh,
Okay.
I will show you my result. See here, %3 and %4.
Okay.
For
Go
%1
back.
and
Go back to your code. What is the width you have given? Increase the width. See, you have included only %1 and 2. That's why
Yeah,
it's not
4.
applying the
oh,
format
yeah,
for
yeah.
3
By
and
mistake,
4.
I think I wrote.
Ah,
Hmm.
that's why it was not applying that format for 3 and 4.
Hmm.
And therefore, you were getting those values
Yes,
as it is.
got
Okay,
it.
now you will get it.
It's a simple.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes, that's how we learn.
Okay, so you can stop
Okay, I will
sharing.
stop sharing. Yeah.
All right, so if you have done with this, let's move on to our next slides. So post this now. Now this is another scenario. It's telling determine the difference between employee contributions and the quarterly goals of the contributions. Okay. So there is some goal in every quarter where the employee has to contribute this amount. Okay, this less or this or more than this. So use a lookup table to store the quarterly goals. Now when we say lookup means we are looking up for one value from one table into another value so that the information is combined. Hence it's called as lookup. All right. So we are like it's telling what is lookup means we are looking for that particular value from one table into in your analysis table, or if you have this values you will be looking up this values into your contract data. All right, so this is your original table where you have the columns of contribution in every quarter, and these are the targets, and given this target we have to give the difference. Now you know in first quarter this employee has not contributed. Hence, for first quarter, the contribution goal is 10. Okay, $10. So quarter run minus 10. So here there is no value. Of course, missing value minus any number you will get missing. Correct? Whereas here the goal is 10, then for second quarter is 20, 20, and fourth quarter is 15. So this is how you give the values. With this instruction, you get this information. So for the last quarter is 15. So the contribution is also 15. So difference is null. Hence it's going to be 0. All right, getting it now? So this is how we are going to do, and we are going to look up this value with this to calculate the difference. So how are we going to do that? Now understand, you are creating another array which has target values. So these are those target values. Now, when you know very well, when we are not providing any column names, but we provide this array name, it will create the columns. And if you give some initial values, it will create those columns in PDB with its attributes as numeric and with its length. And with this initial value, it will take those values into PDB, and this values will be retained into your PDB throughout your data step iteration. So every time a new data step is being processed, this values will not get initialized to missing. Why? Because it's already provided. It's the values which are written with your target column which is the initial values. Hence, those values will get written so that those are available for your data step iterations throughout your data step. So this is what it's telling. When the initial value list is specified, all elements behave as if they were named in retain statement. So this is often used to create a lookup. Hence, because they will be written in every iteration, we will be looking up these values in your data. Hence, they are used in the lookup format. That is a list of values to be referred during your data step processing. So how is the syntax? Array statement starting with the keyword. Give your array name. Give the subscript. If it's a character variable values, give $sign, give the length, and give, in case if you write the array elements name, you can give the names or you can directly provide the initial values. Hence, they have provided the initial values. Yes, sorry, separated by comma. So in our example, they are telling we are having this data set. We are going to have our array on existing columns. We have to calculate difference. Now difference is going to be for 4 columns. It's not a difference between the quarters. It's the difference between your target and the quarters. Hence 4. Okay. Goals. Goal also we have 4 values: 10, 20, 20, 15 and 4. So look at it, how the compilation works. Now we know this is the input data set. So from existing data set, it will create all the variables in PDB for processing. When your next array will be read, we know it's creating array for existing elements, and array is a compile time statement. Because it's on existing elements, no new columns are added. Next array is array diff without further instructions. So it will create 4 different columns in your PDB. And for next goal, again, look at here, goal 4 with initial values. Because it's a compilation, it will create the columns, but it will not add the values currently. Why? Because it's compilation. Compilation is simply jotting out the information to be created for your new data set in PDB. Whereas when it comes to do I equal to statement, you know I is a variable which will be added to your PDB. Correct? Whereas now, when it is reading this drop I and goal 1 to 4, it will flag D for those columns in PDB. Now, this values, because it is providing initial values, it is also flagging R on your column. Why? Because those will be retained during your data step iterations. So this is how your compilation works. So during PDB, during execution phase, look at your PDB. It's the first iteration. Your PDB is initialized to missing. Now, because these goals have been provided with the values, those are not initialized to missing, but with its values. Hence, it is getting processed. Now, there is another way that in case if you do not want this goal columns in your output data, you are writing it in a drop statement or drop equal to dataset option. But instead of using this information like this to be used drop within your drop statement, you can always make use of a keyword underscore temporary underscore while defining the goal before providing the initial values. So this will actually flag D on your PDB. So no need of in providing the information to be dropped separately in the drop statement for your goals. Hence, you simply use this keyword underscore temporary underscore. So it will be automatically dropped. And this is what the difference is calculated. I hope the slides are clear. Did you understand this? With initial values, when you're providing the array with initial values, those values gets retained. Got it, everyone?
Ashwini, I have one query.
Yeah.
In array contrib, that quarter 1 to quarter 4, we are giving that column names.
Mhm.
Those quarter one and quarter four are existing in employee donations already.
Yeah, see, this is the columns, right? So this is what it was, right? So when it was highlighting this, that means this data set has been read. So it's reading this columns from the data set in PDF
Okay,
during
okay. It is all.
compilation.
So we have to give the same column name in contrib, like quarter one to, because from where he has to snatch the data. So we have to give.
Yes, these are the
Okay.
existing columns coming from your data set, right?
Okay.
which
So
is
you
already
have to
there,
provide.
right? It
Yes,
means.
it's already there. Absolutely. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is how during compilation with diff it will create 4 columns. For whole it will create 4 columns. With
See, like Ashwini, if you're saying
yeah,
it, I know like we are saying this is the existing column, but what will happen if we are anyways we can't creating new columns, right? Quarter one to quarter four. It is already existing. So then what is the help of this array contrib if it's already existing and we are not creating new variables?
because we are going to use in this difference like contrib
Okay,
I
for
minus whole. So what
okay,
is
okay.
contrib I? It's your
I
quarter. Because you
okay.
are not writing it separate like quarter one minus quarter two, quarter three minus
Okay, okay,
quarter
okay.
four, or
Okay.
quarter one minus whole, quarter two minus whole two. You're
Hmm.
not giving it that because to avoid that repetitive statement, we are
Statement.
implementing two loops, and for that we are implementing array.
Okay.
Got it now?
Yes.
This is how it is going to now, because we are providing initial values, it will get retained. So you are dropping this, so it will be flagging D. So instead of writing into a drop statement, you can always
Interesting.
make use of underscore temporary underscore for this whole initial values. All right. And this is what the difference is calculated. Now look at here. We are getting missing values. So what can be done to ignore missing values? Now we know in case here also, if you have seen this output earlier, that we are getting missing. Now quarter one minus 10. So ideally we should get the value, right? Missing minus
Yeah,
10.
minus 10 we
Normally we
should
should
get.
get 10, correct? But here it's giving missing. Because SAS
Yeah.
does not work on missing value. So missing plus any value
Minus.
or minus value or multiple value is
It's
giving
showing
missing.
missing. Correct.
But we don't want it like this. We want it as minus 10. So how you ignore missing values?
I
Remember we have
think
we have
something was
used
there.
function.
Yeah, some function was there. I or something we were.
No, we have some function. So some function will
To
ignore
avoid
missing
missing
value,
value.
but
Oh,
it will perform the difference. So this is what it was telling. Use sum contrib I comma minus goal because it's a function. So it's first argument my comma second argument which you are given. So it will ignore missing values and give you the values. Understood? So the missing values were handled as if no contribution was made for that purpose. So this was the sentence.
oh, we are using sum, but
So it's a sum function on argument 1, comma argument 2. So it will perform difference, but it will ignore missing value. So that's what it's telling. Sum function ignores missing values. It can be used to calculate the difference between the quarterly contribution and the corresponding.
okay. So that is minus in between, right?
Yeah, it's minus.
Oh, but generally we give direct, right? Minus, but here they are putting
So
comma in
earlier we
between.
were writing it like this.
Correct.
But because we are using a sum function, now sum function means it is argument, comma argument, correct?
Mm-hmm.
As per the syntax, how we were writing quarter 1, comma quarter 2. Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the arguments. So as per the syntax, it's arguments, comma second argument. So it will ignore missing values. So there's missing values are handled as if no contribution were made for that quarter. All right.
So how it will, can you show like in numbers, like here sum, Contrary by means,
Yeah. So contrary by means it
I
will
means
take
it's a
quarter
missing
one.
value, right? And
So
the
missing minus your
minus,
whole, suppose 10. So it will give minus 10 because it is having a sum
sum.
function. It
Okay.
ignores. That's what it's highlighting here.
Okay.
Correct. So earlier, see, it was giving missing here.
Correct.
But now because we included a sum function on this arguments,
Mm.
it's performing the difference, but it will ignore missing value because of sum function.
Sum.
It's not doing, it is not doing summation. It is doing difference because of this minus sign, but it is ignoring missing value. Hence, you are getting this.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So there is a poll for you. Now try to give the as per the syntax. Tell me how you will be writing this information. So if you have understood how you provide initial values while creating a array. So we had seen the example with goal, which was numeric. Now it's with character. Okay, so it's telling write this array statement to define a temporary lookup table named country with 3 elements, each 2 characters long. Initialize the elements to AU, NZ, and US. Refer to the below syntax. And tell me how you write this information.
So array name is country, contrib 3.
Why you want contrib now? It's country.
Country,
Array name
yeah.
Oh,
will be
sorry.
country.
I meant to say in bracket subscript we can write 3.
Absolutely.
And dollar sign they mentioned 2, right?
2.
Correct.
Array elements.
AU, NZ, US.
So these are your initial values. So this will be writing in your parenthesis with quotation marks. Why? Because those are character values.
Yeah.
And of course, you want them to be temporarily. You write underscore temporary underscore like this before this initial values. This is defining its character. Length is 2. Keyword temporary. That means it will be dropped automatically. It will not be written to your output data set as new columns as country 1, country 2, country 3, and these are its initial values.
Because it is character, that's why we are writing in parenthesis.
Yes, because no, parenthesis means this brackets.
For numeric also we use.
No.
Yes.
That colon I am telling. That colon you have mentioned, na, AU.
No, it's quotation marks.
Sorry, quotation marks, yeah.
Yes, because those are character. For character values, we have to provide quotation marks.
Because of character, because in quarter 1 and quarter 4, we haven't mentioned that.
Correct. Why?
Value.
Because those are numeric values.
Numeric. Yeah.
So this is how it was, numeric values. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So this is how it will be. That's it. So moving ahead. So why don't we work on this demo D118?
18.
So it's demo 18. They are given the, instead of dropping or using it a drop statement into your drop, we will use this.
What we have to do here?
No, it's a demo. It's same like how they have given on the slide. I'm just including this temporary period. That's it.
Okay.
So instead of dropping here, instead of writing here
you're
drop,
using just
I'm
temporary.
using this keyword. So
okay.
That's it. So we get the difference. So in case if we have not written this, what we'll be getting missing values. The difference has been there. Sorry, yes. So that's why it's giving this red sign. So your log is telling, see?
Yeah, comma is
the syntax error.
But still it is giving that if you are giving just comma, still it is giving minus figure. If you see the output.
I did not run with proc print. I had just run the data step. So it was giving this as it is.
See minus here it was giving minus.
So it's telling SAS system stop, data step stop.
Yeah, we are getting values, but we are getting error.
It's the data set is not been created. Okay, so data set is not been created in case it's given the previous data, but it's incorrect, correct? Compare. It's incorrect. So let's move ahead with this. We are getting this.
Missing value.
So to ignore this missing values,
Some step.
sum is the function. It's not a statement. The arguments are separated by comma. I did not give comma. So this was missing about the mismatch of parentheses. That's it. Okay. So this is all. So let's have one hands-on on this as an exercise. Using array for table lookup. It's on page 762. Level 1, exercise number 8. So it's telling the manager of the sales department wants to identify preferred customers for an upcoming promotion. Use the orient.orders underscore media dataset and a lookup table to create a new dataset. Preferred cust. So they have given this media orders data. So manager of the sales department wants to identify preferred customers of an upcoming promotion. Okay. So we have this code already. So it's telling create a temporary lookup table called target. This is the target in for every month from the customers that they should
These
at
are
least
values.
buy, yes, so much of value. We have to create new variables over 1 to 6 to hold the amount that a customer spent above the corresponding month's target. Use a do-loop to calculate the values of over 1 to 6 when the corresponding month's sales amount exceeded the target. All right. So if the sales did not exceed the target for a given month, then do not perform this calculation. Store the sum of overs 1 to 6 into another variable called as total. Write an observation only if total overs is greater than 500. The new data set should include only customer ID over 1 to 6 and total over. So ultimately you should see only this as a output. All right. So let's work out simultaneously. So they are telling us we have a code provided E08 for lesson 7. E08. Okay. So array on existing columns, array on target, array on code. So target we have to be giving it as temporary overtelling because it's providing numeric values. Let's type those values. They have given separated by column.
Yeah, we can copy that.
You can. Yeah. 6 months. All right, so this is the code. All right.
Can you share this code on a chat? Because my studio is not working, so I will try it again. Thank you.
I did same thing, but I don't know why I'm getting it.
Share me your screen.
Yeah, just let me find out where I did wrong. Okay, I will share my screen.
Yes. You share your screen, Puriti.
Yes. Yeah. What I did wrong? I will show you log window. It's
There
showing
is a
too many.
warning initialized in any target. So in target, you did not specify number of subscript input. You have given the initial values, but how about number of subscript? As we write here, see array month 6, because there are 6 elements. Array over 6, because you are going to create 6 over elements as new
Yeah, here
columns.
I
For
wrote
target,
6.
yeah, but target you are not giving subscript. How many values you have?
6.
6, right? So you have to give, right, subscript.
Okay.
Now submit. So it's telling 0 observations.
Missing value were generated as a
Okay,
result.
just scroll down. Let me check the scroll in the login. See, the new dataset work dot preferred customer has 0 observations.
This one.
Yeah, output data has 0 observation. That is the output data set. If you see your output data set tag, so that output data tag, no data set values,
Correct.
0 observation. So check your code again. Let me go to the code. So we are writing if month I is greater than target I. You have to write target
Oh,
I.
yes, yes. Yeah, might be. I will get it now. Simple mistake. No, even that I'm not
Check
getting.
your code again. 0 observations. There is no error. It's a logical error somewhere. So you're writing over I
Semicolon
is
is also
equal
fine.
to month I. No, that is fine. So now if total over is greater than 500. So
Is it
the
like
I,
after 200 comma and space also you have given because of
no,
the
space is not an
comma
Here,
and space both? Yeah.
no, space is not this. Only the value should be
do I
separated
need
by
to give
comma.
here 6 or But it doesn't matter, right? Asterisk
It
is like
doesn't
including,
matter.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
If you're comparing with your code, is I did something different. Minna, yours is working?
No, my SAS Studio is still searching.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's why I asked.
So you are asking that in case with over, you will write
Total
asterisk
work.
instead of try asterisk is all fine. That is not an issue. Okay, let me check the columns. Look at the array defined for months. What is the name of array after set statement? What is the array name? Array
Yeah,
name.
yeah. Hmm.
MON. And what you are writing in your code in Dulu? Month I.
If after if.
If statement.
Oh.
Remove that. That is why it was not able to subset your data.
Now I'm getting values. Yes, and total over is also here. Okay, got
As
it.
per the
Thank you.
requirement, the procprint should be only with how many columns on the new data sheet they said. They said they should keep only, so the new data set should include only customer ID over
Over
1 to
1
6
through
and your total.
total over. Yeah.
So with the
And
keep
write
statement.
an observation only if total over is greater than. Yeah, that I
So
wrote it
that is
already.
already done. Yeah. So with your keep statement now, okay, so that you have already done. No problem. Yes. Now it's already no keep never, we cannot use keep in procprint. So you have already
No,
written
var
keep
I
in
want
data
to.
step. No, but in data step you've already selected those columns. See customer
Okay.
ID over 1 to 6, total over. Okay, now simply submit your procprint.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do we require title also as per the code? No, they have not given. All right.
Okay.
Yes. That's it. So this was the end of your lesson number 7, which was all about. And suppose this exercise is the end of the lesson. Our next chapter would be restructuring data, but this I won't take it today. All right. Or do you want me to go ahead?
No, we can
So,
stop here.
yeah,
We
should
will
begin step.
exercise second level 2 and we'll try to solve challenge
Yes, no
also.
problem. All right. So we'll stop for the day. Wednesday we'll meet at the same time.
Bina, do you want to go ahead? Half an
No,
hour?
because my laptop is not working, so I didn't try this also.
Okay.
So
All right. No problem.
I'll try.
Yes. So let's meet on Wednesday, same time, to continue with lesson number 8.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye. Take
Bye.
care. Bye. Have a good
Thank
day
you.
ahead.
Thanks.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.